Hello guys and welcome to my new video. Today I decided to do something a little different and just do a more general discussion video. So I've seen that Serenity, one of the best skills in World of Warcraft, has disbanded basically in the last couple of days. And I was kind of thinking about it for the last couple of days and thinking about why Serenity have chosen to do that. I know there is a Twitter post about the reasons and why they did it. It was hard to find players left. It was just really hard to find really dedicated players. I think the main issue was that they didn't have a dedicated core healing group. A lot of the main guys left back to Method. It's just a lot of drama and things like that, but then I look back at a lot of major guilds have really disbanded in the last couple of days, or last couple of, basically during Legion. Things like Midwinter from scratch have all called it quits. It was just getting too hardcore for them. This is basically what it was. It was getting too hardcore for them. And right now, the world first race is basically between Exorsus and Method. There's really no other guilds that kind of really going to challenge them, or at least I don't think they're going to be challenged for the time being. So it made me think about why are people disbanding, why are people quitting at the very top level. And I can understand why, because if you want to join any of the top guilds, not only you have to be really good player, really have a really good awareness, know your class inside out. I think they prefer people who can do tier crafting, who can do, because you're going to be setting the trend. Like, I mean, there are people who look at the top guilds and they see what kind of gear they're running, and they use that as like, okay, the main guy in this guild is running haste, so I gotta run haste myself, and things like that. It doesn't always mean it's going to work for you, because it's a complete different challenge in the top guilds. But why did they quit? And it's because if you want to join one of these guilds, you have to have, I think, it's been thrown around at me in the last couple of months. Basically, you need to have two characters that are like 52 or 54 AP traits. So both of them need to have concordance. I know previously you need to have like 4 alts that had level 35, so they had the last golden trait before the 7.2. So right now, from what I know, you have to have 2 alts that are basically close to maxed out. You need to play them really well. You need to be ready to swap out. And what does this mean? It basically means you have to keep grinding constantly, doing the same world quests, doing the same dungeons over and over and over and over again. And for a lot of the people who used to play at the top level, they used to basically just play for 2 weeks. They go hardcore, they know all the classes, they know everything. They go hardcore for 2 weeks, and a lot of them just go back to work. I know Method or something like that a couple of years ago. They had something like that, where if they don't complete the world challenge in 2 weeks, a lot of the core raiders have to go back to work. Which they could do, because they didn't have to grind AP. They didn't have to do it constantly from day in and day out. And therefore they kept a good roster and things like that. And the core players just had to come in when they had to, when the content is released, like the new patches, like for Sargeras. They just come in there and do it for a month or 2 weeks or whatever, and then they just do whatever. They don't even, half of them don't even raid for after they complete the content. Right now, it's a complete different story. If you want to be in a top rating guild, you basically live in World of Warcraft. You have to grind the AP, you have to get the quests, you have to get the legendaries, which are huge. If your character doesn't get a main legendary or the main 2 legendaries or whatever, a lot of guys had to re-roll because it takes less time to level a new character. Let's say you had a druid who gets 2 crappy legendaries. You're better off re-rolling and not re-rolling. You're better off creating a new druid and hoping you get better legendaries then. This is the kind of stuff that people have to do at the top level. And I was thinking, top level is only about 1% of WoW population, but I feel it's kind of affecting everyone else. This really constant grind in World of Warcraft. I mean, AP I really feel is fundamentally broken. I really do enjoy having to do mythics and things like that for higher mythics as a challenge. I really think that's cool, and having an incentive, let's say a little bit of AP drops and you get it, it's something. Like, I mean, do you know what I mean? There's something that's dropping from here, so it doesn't feel like a complete waste of time. For example, if you do a quest or if you do a dungeon and if it doesn't drop anything that you want or anything that you need, it's all crap, I don't need any of that, and you don't get anything, you're kind of like, oh, that was a complete waste of time. I didn't get absolutely zero. I didn't even get a reputation or nothing. And with AP, they kind of just like, okay, at least it wasn't a complete waste of time. At least I'm building towards something, which I actually, it's really good. It keeps you kind of playing. But on the other hand, if you, I made this video before about how Legion has killed alts and things like that. I mean, right now is the best time to level an alt. The AP grind can be kind of daunting. The legendary grind can be kind of daunting because in 7.25 into Sargeras, hopefully they're going to be releasing new rings, talent rings and things like that. We're not sure how we're going to get them. A lot of people saying you're going to get them from quest lines, but what if you don't get them from quest line? What if they're a random drop? So you kind of need to make sure that you have the 10 healing, 10 DPS, 10 tanking legendaries for your main spec, and hopefully the next legend that's going to drop into Sargeras is going to be that really cool ring with a talent spec. That's, you kind of have to keep playing your main. You can't really go to your alt or enjoy it. And even when you go with your alt, you want to do some dungeons, you're way behind on AP, you don't have the right legendaries, you just feel really like your healing, your DPS, your tanking is just going to be really bad at the start. I'm not saying it's hard to level an alt, I'm not saying it's hard to gear up an alt, I'm saying it's hard to get the right legendaries for an alt, and I'm saying it can be hard to get the required AP until you feel like you're actually relevant. Like, I mean, the ramp up time, let's say some new guy wants to re-roll right now, the ramp up time is gonna be at least a month or more for that guy to do some decent DPS healing or tanking if he wants to re-roll. And how do I feel about it? I really don't like this ramp up. I would like to be less hardcore like it was before. You can just, let's say you want your off spec, you don't want to heal, you go to Boomkin or whatever, and I would like to feel like you can actually contribute to the DPS instead of knowing that this is my secondary spec. I'm always gonna be shit in this. I'm always not gonna do anything good because I don't have the right AP because I put everything in main. I really feel AP is fundamentally flawed and there needs to be something done. I feel that they should at least make AP that you generate on your main spec available to your off specs. So if you have 52 traits on Resto, you should have 52 traits on Boomkin, you should have 52 traits on Feral, you should have 52 traits on Guardian. I think that should be at least provided. This just gives you an option to try out different specs and see what's going on. It doesn't, like, I mean, for people who have completed content right now, it's kind of boring. Like, there's nothing to do right now, and content is being released really quickly. But I feel that playing other specs can be really interesting, and maybe going DPS once in a while can be really cool. But if you go to DPS and if you don't have the right specs, you don't have concordance and things like that, you're just gonna be feeling so bad because you're never gonna be beating the main spec DPS, main spec mage, and things like that. So I feel AP should scale at least for your character, A bigger measurement would be that AP would scale across your account. So the amount of AP you have on your one character will go to the amount of AP you have on your second character, or your third character, your fourth character. So if you have 52 traits on your Druid, you can have 52 traits on your Shaman, you can have 52 traits on your Warlock. I feel this could be another way of fixing this burnout that's happening in guilds. Because they really can't be, because they're forced on playing multiple characters, they're forced on finishing the same quests, same dungeons, and just playing constantly. I feel AP is the issue right now, and I really would like some kind of a fix for it. I know the people who play all the time and enjoy the game all the time, they will probably say that it shouldn't be fixed, it should be the way it is, it's the hardcore way. I really would like a more casual approach. Even though I play a lot, I would prefer a much... The minute I switch to my alt, the minute I switch to my secondary spec, I should be on a level playing field. Okay, gear is an issue, I'll get the gear. I'll try and get the legendaries. They kind of fixed a little bit on legendary on the secondary specs. I'll try and... It's still an issue, but I'll try and get the gear, and at least then I'll know that I'm doing the best I can. This is just has been a little rant and maybe a little observation on how this AP scaling going, how this Legion burnout is happening. I don't know if Blizzard is gonna do anything about the AP. I fundamentally think AP is a good thing. I just don't like it how it was implemented right now. I liked it at the start. I thought it was pretty cool to feel to have your main spec being main spec. This is going to be one of the arguments as well. If you play your main spec, it means, man, you're just playing your main spec. You're just sticking with that. You ain't gonna swap around to secondary and go to raids. You gotta stick with what you picked at the start. And if you pick something at the start wrong, man, then you're kind of screwed. I kind of like that at the start, but over time, in hindsight, I feel it's the wrong way. I feel it's the wrong way. Please tell me how you feel about this. This is a very a biased opinion from me. Leave a comment below on how you feel, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video, guys.